Speaking of teams that win games, kind of ugly, not aesthetically pleasing, and doing so in a fashion so much so that too many folks out there are calling it lucky. They lucked into it. They didn't create their own good fortune, so to speak. I'm, of course, referring to the back-to-back champ Chiefs who beat the Broncos yesterday 16-14. I felt comfortable about Denver +7 in this game. Or actually, I did feel comfortable. I think that was Bryce's league bet. I took Denver +7 in this game. I'm like, hey, Chiefs are going to win this game, but it's a short week at home. Chiefs have been playing a bunch of primetime games, these big 4:25 Eastern CBS kickoffs against the Bengals and the Chargers. They were eventually going to come back down to earth a little bit of a letdown game, and Denver almost made them pay for it. What I love about this team, because folks are saying, Chiefs got lucky. Okay. I'm not talking about that last play of the game in which Kansas City's up 2. Denver's lining up. I think it was for a 30, 35, 36-yard field goal. And it gets blocked. Folks, Will Lust didn't miss. See, and Will Lust missed that. It's like, that's about the distance of an extra point. You should make that. A little luck involved. Some of that, maybe it's wind, maybe it's a bad snap. Anything could go wrong on a missed field goal. No, they just penetrated the line and blocked it. There's just no other way around it. And that to me is what makes this Chiefs team so freaking scary. There's a part of me, and I did get a chance to do show Wednesday when they beat Tampa Bay in overtime, in which I thought Mahomes was phenomenal in that game. But there's a sense, I've compared them for numerous different reasons to the Golden State Warriors with Steph, KD, Clay, Draymond, where they were, again, the Chiefs aren't, the gap between the Chiefs and the second best team is not what it was in the NBA when it was the Steph, KD, Warriors, and everybody else. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from an organizational structure, from how they play the game, a lot of similarities. Here's another big similarity. I think there's a part of the Chiefs in some of the games I've watched this year, because they're playing top competition. Like Denver is a top competition. The Broncos very well may make the playoffs. I had them as like a sneaky team that can win 8 games or so. I'm starting to look pretty good on that, but they played the Chargers. They played the Bengals prior to the Bengals, slipping a little bit. They played the Ravens. They play all these great teams. There's a part of me that thinks the Chiefs are kind of screwing with teams a little bit. Like they're like that kid that's playing his brother that's like 5 years older than him. Like older brothers in high school, younger brothers just now going to junior high. And they're playing Madden, playing Call of Duty. Pick your video game. And the little brother is doing his thing. The older brother's like, I'll give him a nice little lead. I'll spot him a good lead. And then I'm just going to run him down and smoke him. That's what I feel like the Chiefs are. They're like, first down, second down, tomato. What the heck? What's the matter? But then what they're going to do is make you pay what it matters. We can show you the numbers right here. The Chiefs don't beat themselves. 45 penalties in the NFL this season for the Chiefs. That's the third fewest in football. They are 52% on third down. If you look at the last 4 weeks, folks, you combine third down and fourth down. Kansas City's converting 62% of the third downs and fourth downs the last 4 games. You look at that number right there. Mahomes has the best win percentage in one-score games, including the playoffs, in NFL history. 70.4%. Now, Tom Brady, as you might imagine, is right behind him. Brady's not terribly far behind at 67.7%, but they just find ways to win close games. Again, it sounds so cliche. It's people going to get mad at me. Oh, it's the refs. It's this. It's that. It's luck. Guys, don't luck into a 9-0 start when you have the best quarterback, coach, defensive coordinator, situational tight end, and defensive tackle in the league. By the way, you can make the case. You make case best special teams in the league. Remember the punt god? He's doing his thing. They got a great punter, Harrison Butker. We know his history as a clutch kicker. And now you got these guys penetrating through the middle of the line, blocking game-winning field goal kicks and saving undefeated streaks. So there's an element, there's a little Warriors here where it's Steph, KD, and Clay would just kind of mess around for a little bit, and then one of them would go nuclear on you for the last 5 minutes of the game. It could be a Curry Flurry, it could be Durantula, it could be Killer Clay, could be any of them. And they get you when all said and done. You look up, you're like, dang, we were up like 15 points in the middle of the third quarter, and we lost the game by like 20. How'd that happen? The Chiefs don't necessarily do that to teams because the margin of victory is certainly much tighter in the NFL than it is in the NBA and in basketball in general. But I'm telling you, there's no other way that I could say it other than that they are just exceptional situationally, better than anybody. And that is why, again, I've said all season long, certainly from week one when they entered the season as the back-to-back champs seeking a three-peat, but throughout the season, even when they've had their ugly wins here or there, even when they're barely beating teams like the Raiders was a little bit of a dogfight, right? The Chargers, a beat-up Chargers team, how was that close? All those situations considered, I've kept him at number one all season long on Bryce's best 10. And the reason I do that is because if the offense isn't playing well, defense picks them up. If the defense ain't playing well, just like last week against Tampa, that's all right. Patrick Mahomes, I got you guys. I'll pick y'all up. I'll lead multiple scoring drives in the fourth quarter, and I'll lead the game when you drive in overtime. It's all good. Just relax. Don't worry about it. You give this team any life, they will make you pay every single time. And it's something else. I know I keep Jeff's going to get mad at me. I know I keep taking shots at the 49ers, but this is what separates. I don't think anybody argues Kyle Shanahan's a better coach than Andy Reid, but one of the areas that separates them, details. We already showed you the Chiefs' third fewest penalties in the NFL. But if you watch the 49ers yesterday against the Buccaneers, I've come to the conclusion. Kyle Shanahan just flat out doesn't care about special teams. He doesn't care about them. They're terrible. Niners might have the worst special teams in the NFL. Chiefs probably have the best, and that's what won them the game. It's also what won them a game in some respects with the bomb field goal from Butker to beat Cincinnati in week 2. If one side of the ball's down, the other side's going to pick them up. If both are down, if the Chiefs' defense has been good but is giving up what looks to be a game-winning drive, and Mahomes has missed throws in the fourth quarter, uncharacteristically so, because statistically, Mahomes has been far and away the best quarterback in football in the fourth quarter this year. So it seems like, we got y'all. We got y'all. There's a lot of Detroit Lions here. They could beat you in many different ways. It's not going to look as sexy as it does in Detroit, but you know what? You know what does look sexy? Rings, trophies. That's what Kansas City does. They are... God, they're going to be a tough out. I mean, they're honestly, because I don't think we can say definitively what's great and what's bad about this team for 60 straight minutes. We just know that they'll be great when they need to be. We just know Mahomes is going to lead a scoring drive when he needs to, when the team is down. We know the Chiefs special teams are going to block a kick when they need to, and when the defense is going to get a stop when they have to. And if they don't, again, the special teams can block a kick and save the game. 15 straight wins. That's a 9-0 start. I think it's the first in Kansas City Chiefs history. And they still have not lost since Christmas Day to Aiden O'Connell. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Thanks so much for watching the show on YouTube, and be sure to go click that big red subscribe button and check out the other clips and full shows from Carving It Up Live, as well as our other incredible content creators here on the Grid Network.